Sit downers, I'm back. Dean Gornitis. Unleash This book reviews every Saturday, although it got pushed to Sundays. Now it looks like it's on a Monday, but it's supposed to be every Saturday a book review for you. This week, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. First of all, I want to apologize for not being here last week. I went to Myrtle Beach with my family for Thanksgiving, and it was a good time. If you haven't been to the Myrtle Beach area, check it out. 70 degrees last week in November. Can't argue that, especially us Buffalonians, who now have nothing good in our city going on. Thanks a lot, Bills. Anyways, all you Naked Lunch fanatics spelling Naked Lunch backwards on my comment walls, going naked lunch on your video responses. That never happened. I just made that up, but that would have been cool. Anyways, there's been a lot of feedback from you guys telling me to read Naked Lunch, and I'm reading it. So next Saturday, review Naked Lunch. You asked for it. You're gonna get it. But now, The Alchemist. Read this right before I left for Myrtle Beach. Forgot my camera. Now I have a camera back. Not my camera, but a good camera. And anyways, this book, I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's one of those ones that a lot of people get assigned in high school, and if not in high school, in college. But like what seems to happen often to me, I was never assigned it. I was never forced to read it, and so I never did pick it up until now. And I went into it with a lot of questions because it seemed like another one of those new agey, spiritual, you can do what you want to do and your destiny's in your own hands, and if you put out good vibes will come back to you. And not that I don't believe in any of that stuff, it's just a lot of times the literature that comes out of that a lot of times isn't even literature, and it's just kind of mumbo jumbo rehashing of the same ideas over and over again. And I feel like a lot of times, why should I bother reading some guy's 2008 interpretation of theories that were conceived thousands of years ago? Why wouldn't I just go back to the first source, you know? But that's not what I ended up getting out of this book. Instead, I really felt enriched by my reading experience. It's a fable in the fact that it tells a story that is supposed to give you some sort of message behind it. And it's short. I want to say it's like 170 pages, I think my copy was, but small. The margins were very large, the pages were small. It's easily readable in a weekend, probably readable in a day, but if you're like me and you're constantly distracted by the internet and the television and sports and your girlfriend talking to you and your family calling you on the phone and your work schedule and everything like that, it's even still easily completable in a week. And that was one of the reasons I like it, because there's always something for a book that you feel like you can complete without having to dedicate your entire lifetime or even just your free time to the book. And then, you know, you have here the story. And the story is about a young boy who I want to say, in my mind, was like 13, although I suppose he could have been anywhere between the ages of 12 and 20, maybe even a little bit older, but I believe he was called a boy, Santiago, which I found interesting, that he had the same name as the old man from The Old Man and the Sea, which was also fable-ish and also about the same size. Whatever, tangent, I guess, maybe not. But the boy goes on a journey, and he is told by his dreams and by omens that he sees and by people that he meets to go after a treasure. That's it, just a treasure. Nobody really knows, as the story goes, what kind of treasure that is, whether it's gold or some treasure like a beautiful woman or whatever. But he's told to go after this treasure, which is apparently located in Egypt by the pyramids. And I have an itch on my leg that I keep itching, and that's why I keep crouching over. Yeah. So he does this. And along the way, he learns a lot about the way the world works, about the way to handle adversity, about how to talk to other people and what you should tell them and let them know and what you should keep to yourself, how to build relationships, and all that other vague stuff that I can tell you without giving away the plot of the book. Anyways, there is a regurgitation here of the theories that I had brought up earlier in the video, but it's refreshing. It's a new take. It's not force-fed down your throat. You know, take it or leave it here. Paulo Coelho, which you guys are probably, I'm sure, going to tell me I'm butchering that name. I'm sorry. Brings to light here a lot of positive feelings, and I can't argue that. I'm not going to be cliche and say we're living in a time of depressing news and economic hardships and all that kind of stuff, because to me it seems like all times are always like that, but all times always also have a positive side, and why not highlight that? And I think that's what Coelho does here. And it leaves you with a good feeling upon closing the book that your destiny is in your own hands, and that if you really want to push for something, to go for it. But don't push for something because other people told you to push for it. Push for it because in your heart it feels like it's the right thing to do. I make these videos because I honestly feel like I'm missing out and I'm not having as much fun in my life if I'm not interacting with you guys. And you guys play a big part in that too. I don't want to go so far as to say that it was my destiny to create a YouTube channel, but it just feels right. This interaction that we have, the fun that we have talking about stuff, whatever, me spewing my stupid opinions on things, it makes me feel happier. And I hope that it helps somebody out there get a book or something like that. I don't know. What I'm saying is, Coelho here kind of helped me to understand that, you know, if you're going after what makes you feel good and you're doing what feels like is the right thing in your heart, regardless of what everyone else is saying, to do it. And I know you've heard that 100 times before, and I'm sure your parents have told you that 100 times before, but does it really hurt to be told it again? In a new way that you've never heard before, that your head isn't callous to hearing over and over, that doesn't go in one ear and out the other because it's new and different? I don't think it hurts. I really liked it. And for that, I'm going to recommend it. I think if you missed out on this one in high school, college, if you've never heard of it before, check it out. What do you got to lose? A day or two of reading? That's what I think, anyways. I've got a couple of you guys who have jumped up on the opportunity to send me a book and have me review it and get a book from me in return that is used, slightly used, but that I think was a really good book. If you aren't sure what I'm talking about, if you're a new subscriber or something like that, you know, check out my last review, the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. There's an address there. I give the whole spiel on what the whole thing is about, this book exchange that we're doing. Send me a book. I want to read your books, you know? I love this. I love you guys. Yeah. Dean Gornitis, Unleash This, book reviews, The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho. See you guys Saturday. Naked lunch, naked lunch, naked